Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of the astrophysics chapter. So, in the last class, we have studied about astrophysics, scope of astrophysics, and star properties. Now, in this class, we are going to study about the spectral classification of stars, HR diagram, and stellar evolution. So, first of all, let us know about the spectral classification of stars. So, depending upon the temperature, composition, and color of the star, all the stars are classified into 7 different categories. So, the Harvard classification, it is also called as the Harvard classification, which is introduced in 1980s. Later, it is modified in 1920s, and the group of stars which comes under this category are O group of stars, B group of stars, A group of stars, F, G, K and M group of stars. The stars are all arranged in a sequence with the hottest stars coming the first and coldest the last. So here O group stars are the hottest stars, M group stars are the coldest stars. So if we see the O group of stars, the temperature of the stars in this group ranges from 30,000 Kelvin to 50,000 Kelvin, and the color of the stars is blue or violet, and they composed of ionized helium, and Mintaka is an example for such stars. So like this we can give the temperature, color, composition and the stars belonging to these groups for different groups of stars. So now how to remember this classification very easily? So there is a trick we can use in order to remember all these groups of stars. So first of all, you need to remember that the hottest star is the O group of stars and the coldest stars are the M group of stars. Now how to remember them in sequence? For that you need to use one trick, that is O, be a fine girl, know me. Oh, be a fine girl, know me. So this is the method by which we can remember very easily these group of stars or these classes, different classes of stars. Next, we shall move towards knowing about the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. So in the year 1911, Hertzsprung for the first time discussed a plot of variables of stars equivalent to brightness versus temperature. Later in 1913, Russell discussed the similar plot. A large number of variables results can be obtained from it. The plot has come to be known as Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. So here, with the help of this HR diagram, large number of variables related to stars are obtained. Now how to understand this diagram? So let us see how we can understand this HR diagram. So in this diagram, every dot represents a star. So in Hertzsprung-Russell's diagram, every dot represents a star. Temperature and color are taken along x-axis. Luminosity and brightness are taken along y-axis. Temperature and color are taken along x-axis and luminosity and brightness are taken along y-axis. Now let us study about the different groups of stars which are plotted on the HR diagram one by one. Now first, the diagonal stars. It is observed that 90% of stars lies along the diagonal band called main sequence stars. So they start from upper left to the lower right of the diagram. About 90% of the stars, they lie along the diagonal band. They are called as main sequence stars. So we can see here from the left top to the right bottom, these are all called as main sequence stars. Now there are also stars called as JAMS, that is zero age main sequence stars. Mass of the stars in the main sequence ranges from 0.1 to 30 times the mass of the sun. Temperature ranges from 2.5 kilokelvin to 5 kilokelvin. Luminosity varies from 10 to the power of minus 6 to 10 to the power of 6, the luminosity of sun. Magnitude ranges from 20 to minus 10. Here magnitude represents the brightness. You should remember it. Now the age of average age of the stars of this group are 10 to the power of 7 to 10 to the power of 12 years. Now, other than these main sequence stars, there are different groups of stars located at different positions in the HR diagram. Few are the young bright giants, short-lived hottest and brightest. Where they are located? Somewhere here they are located. Now, above the diagonal, few old stars are also there. They are called as subgiants. Above old stars, giants are there. At the right top are the older stars called as supergiants. So these are all called as red supergiants. Now, right lower bottom stars are called as brown dwarfs. So they come somewhere here, brown dwarfs. Now, nearly left corner there are some stars which are small in size. So they are the dying stars. They are dimmest, brightest. They are dimmest and they are densest. So they are called as white dwarfs. So the position of the white dwarfs is shown here. So like this, we can explain about the HR diagram, and it looks like this. So here in this diagram, temperature and category of star or color of the star are taken along x-axis. Luminosity and absolute magnitude or brightness are taken along y-axis. Now, after knowing about HR diagram, now let us know about the stellar evolution. Students, you may have questions in your mind that how a star is formed, what are different stages of its life, how will it end up? Let us find out answer for all these questions. There are places in the galaxies where clouds or dust of hydrogen gas is present. The hydrogen molecules or atoms in this region are randomly moving in all the directions. Sometimes they come near each other and they come under the influence of the gravitational force and starts condensing. Later, a dense rotating sphere of gas is formed, to which we call as the protostar. Later, these hydrogen atoms undergo nuclear fusion reactions, leading to the different stages of a star's life. So depending upon the initial mass at the time of formation of a star, they undergo three types of stellar evolution. That is lightest mass star evolution, heavy mass star evolution, and heaviest mass star evolution. Now, if you see this diagram, it will clearly explain about the different stages of a star. So first of all, let us know what is this lightest mass star evolution. So the stars whose initial mass is less than 1.4 the mass of the sun, where m0 is the mass of sun. So the stars whose initial mass at the time of formation is 1.4 the mass of the sun, they undergo a different stages of its life. First it will become protostar, and then it will get expand and become a red giant. Afterwards, the inner matter will get condensed and the outer matter will become nebula, and the condensing inner matter will get collapsed as a white dwarf. It will become denser and denser, and then again it will die up as a white dwarf. So like this, the small mass star will get evoluted. So next, heavy mass star evolution. So heavy mass means the star's initial mass greater than 1.4 the mass of sun, but not that larger. So moderate mass. So the star will undergo different stages of its life, such as it will be a large star at first stage, later it will become a red giant, and then after red giant stage the star starts collapsing, means it starts condensing, so it will become so dense, and this dense matter will get exploded in the form of supernova. After that, it will end up as neutron star. But the stars whose mass is very large, greater than 8 times the mass of sun, so they will end up as black holes. After supernova explosion, they will become black holes. So like this, we can explain the different stages of life of a star. So up to here, what we have learnt? We have learnt about the spectral classification of stars. We came to know about in detail about the HR diagram and the life cycle of a star. So I hope this video lecture will be very helpful for you. Thank you.